One of the biggest unsolved Destiny mysteries to this point is Elsie Bray, or the Exo Stranger's time loop. She's seen dark futures where all guardians are evil, where Eris Morn rules an army, and where humanity has no hope. Edge of Fate is bringing back the mystery of time anomalies and maybe even time travel. Beyond that, we have an expansion titled The Shattered Cycle. So could any of this have connection to Elsie Bray's story? Welcome Guardians, today we discuss. So let's talk more today about the Fate Saga. It seems a lot of characters will make their own fate. Will Elsie be one of them? We know there's some strange time anomalies going on, so Elsie won't likely be the forefront, but there will be an expansion later on in this saga called the Shattered Cycle. So is that Elsie breaking her loop? Is this the Dreaming City loop finally getting its conclusion? Or maybe even both? Elsie has had ties to Mara Sov in the past. The most famous story involving Elsie though was in Destiny 1 when we knew nothing about her. Elsie would guide our player down a path, one that would hopefully stop this loop she's in and make things better for humanity. The main threat back then was of course fighting the Vex, as she said, and destroying the Black Heart. This was pivotal. Sure, we were a new Guardian introduced to the Vanguard and the Last City, but Elsie was really the one guiding us along for mysterious reasons. We still don't know why.
Come back for them when you're ready. Let's get you home.
Clearly the Destiny 1 plot was thrown together from the scrapped story of years prior. And clearly it's been 10 years since we first experienced that. Since then, her story has evolved. We met her family members, we learned about her grandfather's crazy and horrifying experiments. Bungie could have thrown whatever this cutscene was out the window. It's not a part of the story anymore. Or on the other hand, maybe it is, and we just haven't experienced the outcome yet. I hope it's the latter option, even if it's a line of dialogue found as an Easter egg on some alien planet.
Why have you been watching us?
I don't even have time to explain why I don't have time to explain. I will. I know.
Will what?
I wasn't talking to you, little light. Many Guardians fell. Strong ones. But you made it here. Yes, I'm listening. They are here. With me.
Who's she talking to?
Understood. You need my help, Guardian.
Is that why you brought us here?
They brought us here. The Vex. But I believe where our paths cross, ground could break. Have you heard of the Black Garden?
We've heard the legends.
The greatest threat to us all lies there. Where these machines are born. Find the Black Garden. Rip out its heart. Only then will your traveler begin to heal.
Can you help us find it?
My path's my own. I can't. Too late returning. How many? Hold position, kill the engines, and don't let them find you.
This all stems from Elsie's time loop. You know the basics. Elsie is stuck in a Groundhog Day-like time loop that begins when Cayde-6 became Hunter Vanguard after the death of Andal Brask at the hands of Taniks the Scarred. The loop usually ends when she dies or when crazy events take place in dark alternate timelines. Like when Anna Bray, her sister, fell to darkness, when Eris controlled the Dark Army. Elsie became an Exo to prevent a genetic disease from killing her, but at some point she fell into a strange time loop. We don't know exactly how it started, but we do have some guesses. Elsie began to experiment with Vex technology. Technology and knowledge he learned from the Ishtar Collective on Venus, and likely Maya Sundaresh or Chioma Essie. A brilliant classmate I met at the Physics Fellowship in Delhi took a job on Venus to continue her research. Twice a year, we exchange encrypted transmission to share ideas, for it's a silly notion to lay claim to shared human knowledge. Ishtar Academy materials are forbidden on Mars, but I avail myself of an opportunity to push myself to the next peak. If I can get my hands on a Vex core, there's no telling how far I can push Bray engineering. Jumping into an Einstein-Rosen bridge to travel in time has long been regarded fantasy by serious physicists. But what if there existed a computer so powerful it could indistinguishably simulate an entire alternate timeline? Based on my early research, this is a possibility of Vex technology. The key question would be whether one could take knowledge from a simulated timeline and alter the original. One step at a time, though. So Elsie, as a human scientist, Dr. Elizabeth Bray, experimented with Vex technology and shared some information with somebody from Ishtar. Again, this was when she was a human on Mars. She created various armor pieces. She created the World Line Zero from Vex technology. She then later learned about this family disease, traveled to Europa, and became an Exo. Each of those cards I read, though, speaks about days until divergence. Some believe divergence from the timeline. So we don't specifically know what started her time loop. What we do know is that in our current timeline where we play as the Guardian, things are going well this time when it comes to Elsie's loop. We safely wield darkness powers, Anna isn't corrupted and neither is Eris Morn. We stopped the final shape, and Elsie herself was unsure about what the future holds.
I've just been scared, Anna, about losing you again. I thought I was doing the right thing, keeping the truth from you.
All you need to do is be my sister, Elsie. Whatever truths we face, no matter how tough, we'll do it together.
No better time than the present, then. I'm sorry. For all the times I failed, for all the...
Don't say it. We have each other now. For however long that is. I can't know what the future holds, Elsie. But I do know we'll face it together.
I don't know what the future holds either. Not anymore. And I'll be honest, that terrifies me.
In Destiny's original story, it was likely Osiris that Elsie was speaking to. We would have found him in an early mission and he was a mentor of sorts to the Guardian. According to articles from Kotaku and various other sources about the original story, Elsie had a different name and was apparently an assistant to Osiris. But Bungie still had the same character model and everything. So that's who it probably was. In the game we got in 2014, who knows, Bungie probably didn't even know themselves. Osiris still dealt with Vex technology and time, but he isn't super close to Elsie. Even through seasons like Seraph, he was always more closer to Anna, it would seem. So in the Edge of Fate or future expansions, it could work if Bungie slots it in there the right way. Maybe she's speaking to Lodi. Maybe a future version of herself or even our own Guardian. What if the whole time she was just talking to us from, say, the Shattered Cycle DLC? Would be pretty cool. So this is where things get interesting involving this new saga. Edge of Fate clearly has time anomalies, a character in Lodi who seems to have been sent through them by the Nine. The Vex are once again present on Kepler seeking something, and in other concept art with their citadels. Bungie mentioned that Chioma Essie will return as they talked about her voice actor. so that confirms that she's back in some capacity too. Maybe it's more versions of her that were embedded into the Vex network like we heard in Echoes.
And I stood by you in each atrocity. Now all I see in front of me is a monster. Not my sunrise.
I'm trying to save you. You're not my Tioma. If you were her, you would understand. Degazi.
I am her. What I am not is your personal delusion.
And Ishtar seems to be involved too. The train, again as mentioned in other videos, has the Ishtar logo plastered above the windows. So you can begin to see some connections. Vex, Ishtar. We know they had tons of experiments with Vex technology and the Vex network. Just look at Maya Sundaresh, who still exists too. Look at their Veil experiments. So it isn't crazy to think Elsie's time loop could be connected to all of this too. Another cool connection happened back in Echo's lore as well, when a bunch of characters were trying to escape out of the Vex network. One of them was trying to get a message to reach Elsie Bray. We need to warn them. There's still a chance. Saint, hold on to me. I am owed this. Hurry, get Shim. There isn't enough of me left. Tell Elsie, prateth still. Please, please wait. Warn them. I have to warn them. So we don't know who said this, but it gives us another connection to Elsie Bray and Pratith. Somebody saying, tell Elsie that Pratith still blanks. I'm assuming still lives, which we know he does. Pratith was a lost member of the Vault of Glass fire team still stuck in the network somewhere. Maybe we'll experience his story too in the Shattered Cycle DLC. Another piece of interesting information is this. We know Elsie's voice actor is back in some capacity, Moira Quark. She voices Orin the Emissary, and she also voices the Exo Stranger. Bungie has said that some parts of the voice acting for Edge of Fate may be voiced by different actors as the original ones weren't available for some things. But even if Elsie isn't involved at all, maybe we get some voice lines that hint at her loop and stories we might experience in the future, given they already have her voice actor there. Who knows?
I'm sure you will, but not through me. Find someone else. My will is my own.
But anyway, Guardians, that's all we got for today's video. Some theories and speculation about timelines, the Edge of Fate, and maybe even the Shattered Cycle. Will it involve Elsie's time loop and other looped stories? If you'd like to see some more Destiny news, lore, and mysteries just like this video, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video.